She was the most unlikable candidate in the history of presidents, and that's saying a lot.
But Biden says the same thing.
He's number 2. When Biden says something, does anyone be like, oh?
Right.
No, they used to go, oh, what'd he say?
Yeah. What is happening in America? You can feel it. Something we've worked for and dreamed of for a long time. Donald Trump fell asleep at his own trial. And when he woke up, he made his own kind of history. The first person to run for president with 34 felonies.
Hillary Clinton isn't just irritated. She's pacing like a volcano seconds from eruption. Meanwhile, Tyrus, he's dropping bombshells like he's casually reading off a grocery list. And these secrets, they're messier than a toddler's sneakers after a mud run. The tension builds, the room crackles, and then, boom, an explosion. Hillary's reaction is so electric, you could power a small city with it. And here's the kicker. You're left wondering, what on earth did Tyrus reveal that rattled her this badly? Buckle up, because this meltdown makes ordinary political drama look like a second-rate soap opera.
Tyrus, and this goes back to 2016, people were reluctant to talk to pollsters and say, I like Donald Trump. And now, fast forward 8 years later, essentially they're saying, if you like him, you're in a cult. Do you really want to be in a cult?
If the cult that Hillary doesn't like...
Before we move on, smash that like button and subscribe, because trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Hillary Clinton was supposed to be enjoying her post-political life, coasting through talk shows, dishing out polished wisdom, and soaking up applause like she's at a Broadway curtain call. But then, enter Tyrus. He storms in like a bull in a china shop, tossing out secrets that sound like they were yanked straight out of Area 51's vault.
Is it a red hat? I'll get one. Like, it's ridiculous. When the losing side, or someone, she's just a very unlikable person and will say anything to get this attention. But here's the thing, it's changed. America has changed. We no longer listen to that stuff. Now when they say it, we go, that's why I didn't vote for you.
And just like that, the woman who survived decades of Washington scandals allegedly explodes, like somebody yanked her teleprompter plug mid-sentence. Let's be real. If anyone was going to crack Hillary's armor, it wasn't a senator. It wasn't an international rival. And it definitely wasn't a panel of softball journalists. No, it had to be Tyrus, a guy who looks like he was engineered in a WWE lab, only to be rebranded later as a truth grenade. He doesn't tiptoe into controversy. He belly flops straight into it.
Clinton is one of the most disgusting human beings on the planet.
Very much so.
Always has been, always will be, and will be inserting clips on her response to Benghazi several times throughout the interview. I want to show who she is.
She's worse than her husband.
A lot of people say that this was triggered by a YouTube video. This is her statement. I condemn in the strongest terms the attack on our mission in Benghazi today. The United States deplores any intentional effort to denigrate the religious beliefs of others. Our commitment to religious tolerance goes back to the very beginning.
Picture this. The world's minding its own business, politics grinding on in its usual swampy fashion. And then, Tyrus decides today's the day to air dirty laundry. Not the polished PR spin kind of secrets politicians rehearse for. No, he's digging up the raw kind. The kind that make dry clean only reputations smell like gym socks left in the sun after a July barbecue.
She talks, you kind of get why Bill did what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, it's kind of like, again, I don't condone, cheating, but
no,
that's your morning.
Yeah.
You gotta kiss that before you go to bed at night, and then you gotta sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
And when those secrets come spilling out, Hillary doesn't respond with an icy blare or a careful rebuttal. Nope, she goes nuclear. Think fireworks, jet fuel, and a meltdown so intense you'd swear someone swapped her latte for rocket fuel. Tyrus has always had this talent. He doesn't just expose things, he detonates them.
Oh, your buddy Epstein didn't off himself, and she has all this extra footage cut up in the closet? Like, I bet he has. I bet Bill has not had a good night's sleep for years. I mean, that's why he aged so badly. Yeah. You know, like, a lot of people don't know this. Bill Clinton is only 37 years old.
Tyrus treats scandals like wrestling storylines, amped-up drama, chest-thumping bravado, and just enough theatrics to glue you to the screen. So when he goes after Hillary, it's not just about what he reveals. It's about staging a spectacle so wild, it makes cable news look like a puppet show. And Hillary? She hates that. Her whole career has been about controlling the narrative. Polished speeches, framed interviews, the image of being 5 chess moves ahead. But when Tyrus lobs a grenade into the mix, her Do Not Disturb button flips to nuclear meltdown. Suddenly, she's pacing, shouting, waving her arms, like both the director and the star of her own political soap opera.
She's just evil. Like, there's nothing like her.
Why would she even tweet that? Like, don't you have
I think she just sits around in her evil lair. Whenever she runs out of Eye of Newt and Small Children to Boil, she then goes to X and just says whatever the most evilest thing. I think if the devil himself showed up, like, you'll never hear her being possessed by a demon. You know what I'm saying? The demon will walk in and the demon will be calling Dr. Phil. You don't believe the that I just saw, bro. Like.
So what exactly did Tyrus expose? Let's just say it wasn't harmless brunch gossip. These weren't bedtime stories. They were ghosts of scandals past, dragged out of the grave, dusted off, and shoved under the brightest spotlight imaginable. Suddenly, Clinton controversies went whispers. They were parading center stage like a badly choreographed marching band. And the thing about Hillary? She survived enough scandals to fill a Netflix anthology series. But the unpredictability of Tyrus is the nightmare her inner circle dreads. Because you can't script a counterpunch when the other guy refuses to stick to the script. And once she explodes, the reaction becomes the story. Not the secrets, not the facts, but her very public detonation.
Catfish. Well, they wanted us to believe it was a big naughty redhead that was going around, was going to ruin the world and do all kinds of bad things to us. Turns out the catfish was, hey, we don't boo here, but for this one time, you may boo.
And nothing screams I'm rattled louder than a meltdown caught on full display. The internet? Oh, it ate this up like a season finale. Memes popped up overnight. One side declared Hillary's reaction proved she's guilty of everything under the sun. The other side swore Tyrus was just a carnival barker chasing clicks. But while the two camps screamed at each other, the real winner was the spectacle itself. In 2025, political explosions aren't just news, they're entertainment. Hillary, who's always managed to stand tall through chaos, suddenly blew up like a pressure cooker. That alone tells you all you need to know about the psychological chess match unfolding here.
Look, if the pantsuit fits, Hillary Clinton, you owe Russia an apology. And there should be an apology tour for lying to the American people and ruining 2 years of Trump's presidency and affecting elections with Russiagate, impeachment, and fake dossiers. Oh yeah, let's not forget the P-tape.
Because here's the truth. It's not really about facts. It's about perception. And in politics, perception is reality. The second Hillary explodes, it feeds the narrative that Tyrus struck a nerve. And once people believe you're rattled, you've already lost half the battle. Tyrus knows this game. He doesn't need spreadsheets or citations. All he needs is a perfectly timed revelation, a smirk, and Hillary's overreaction to write the headlines for him. It's the oldest play in the book. Poke the bear and let the bear perform the show. By now, you'd think Hillary would have mastered the art of brushing things off. But this time, the internet crowned her meltdown of the year, before she even had time to spin the fallout.
I want you to remember what Donald Trump said about Hillary Clinton back in the 2016 debate.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
It's like, yeah, because you'd be going to jail, lady.
And make no mistake, Her explosion wasn't just a reaction, it was a performance. Arms flailing, voice rising, the full dramatic flair of someone who'd been bottling irritation for years, until Tyrus pressed the launch button. It was Shakespeare meets WWE, complete with imaginary theme music playing in her head. Hillary doesn't do subtle. Sure, she tries. But when Tyrus drops bombs, the polished politician mask melts faster than ice cream in July. And suddenly, the untouchable Clinton mystique cracks wide open. Cue the internet frenzy. Memes were spreading faster than her temper.
Since they can't air the truth, they control the storyline, and they've lost control of it. From bloodbath to democracy. Last night, Hillary tried framing the election like this. Both guys are old, but you can't vote for the one we indicted.
What do you say to voters who are upset that those are the two choices?
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices. One is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart, and really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with 91.
One moment, Hillary's firing back with sharp rebuttals. The next, she's trending as a volcano, a mushroom cloud, or a glitching robot sparking on live TV. Twitter christened her Mount Hillary. TikTok remixed her meltdown, with Tyrus grinning like the cat that swallowed a bald eagle. Even people who don't follow politics were glued to this, because watching a global powerhouse unravel in real time, that's binge-worthy. The hashtags trended worldwide. Anchors tried to keep straight faces, and comedians had a field day. Every attempt to downplay the meltdown only fueled the flames further. It was like trying to put out a grease fire with gasoline.
She's back like a sore on a porn star's lip.
Ew.
Complaining on X about Trump cleaning up D.C., she says, quote, on one hand, Republican officials call themselves war fighters. On the other, they become whiny crybabies at the thought of setting foot in D.C.'s streets and New York City subways that literal school children navigate every day without incident. Real macho stuff. Then she got off social media and returned to moving a dead body to a park.
Meanwhile, Hillary's defenders painted the explosion as righteous anger, the kind you unleash after years of cheap shots. But anger that loud? It rarely plays like strength. It plays like insecurity with a mask on. The irony? Hillary's career was built on outlasting chaos. Scandal after scandal. She marched forward like the Terminator in a pantsuit. But now, a TV pundit with a flair for theatrics managed to rattle her. And that's the sting. Because in politics, it's not about truth, it's about optics. And optics don't care whether Tyrus exaggerated or improvised. Optics only care that Hillary looked shaken. For someone who spent decades trying to look unshakable, that's fatal.
It's not just ironic, it's not just rich, it's actually pretty sad.
It's what happened to decorum?
Gone,
what happened to being the so-called leader in the room? He's being indicted, great, but let's not forget, you lost your election because of your, quote, crookedness. So let's not forget that. So yeah, she didn't get charges put on her, which probably should have, but she lost the election because of her underhand dealings. So let's remember that.
Zoom out and it's clear. This wasn't just a stat. It was proof that politics and entertainment are now the same circus. Outrage is the currency, and Hillary's eruption was a stock market crash in real time. People didn't tune in for policy debates. They tuned in for the drama. And Hillary delivered. The irony? She built her brand on control, inevitability, and resilience. But in this moment, all of that shattered. Even world leaders watching overseas couldn't resist laughing, shaking their heads, muttering, "Only in America." Meanwhile, the American public was too busy arguing over which meme best captured her meltdown to even care what Tyrus actually said.
So happy about it. That was an opportunity for her. They're always talking about closing the division. There would have been an opportunity for her to be gracious and be supposedly the leader, but again, she just can't stay away from herself.
Maturity doesn't always come with age.
No, it really doesn't, and it's sad in this currently with the given climate where everybody's after each other's throat. Here's a chance for a leader to show a little bit of class necessary. You don't have to like President Trump. You could think he was guilty of sin or innocent of sin, but when you're put in that position, there was an opportunity for her to show what leaders are supposed.
And then, boom, just like that, Hillary's face was everywhere again. Not because she was running for office, not because she had a new agenda, just because Tyrus turned her reaction into headline fodder. The cruel twist? She wanted to be remembered as a trailblazer, a pioneer, a heavyweight who shaped history. Instead, she's going viral for losing her cool against a carnival barker pundit. It's Shakespearean irony, dipped in internet trolling. Her explosion isn't just about her. It's about the absurdity of modern politics itself. And here's the real kicker. You can't stuff this genie back in the bottle. After a spectacle like this, you either embrace the chaos or get drowned by it. And if history proves anything, Hillary Clinton doesn't drown quietly.